Picture the morning of May 16th, 2026. You are standing outside a shopping mall in Paris, right near the Louvre, and there is just absolute unmitigated chaos.
Like full-blown riot levels of chaos.
Oh, yeah, completely.
Yeah.
Police are literally deploying tear gas to disperse surging crowds. Security gates are being forced off their hinges.
Wow.
Yeah. And across the channel in London, police dogs are actively holding back lines of thousands of people. Over in New York, Times Square is facing massive retail gridlock.
Just total gridlock.
Total gridlock. And then in Dubai, sudden store closures have left hundreds of people stranded outside in the sweltering heat, people camping out in sleeping bags for days.
Oh, man.
You've got organized resale rings literally passing duffel bags of cash in the street. And what is all of this global dystopian hysteria actually for?
I still can't believe it.
Right. It's for a $400 plastic pocket watch.
It honestly sounds like a scene from some science fiction movie where society has just collapsed.
Total.
But this is the bizarre reality of the modern luxury watch market. You are watching a real-time battle for relevance.
Which brings us to our mission for today. Welcome to More Taste Than Money. This is our deep dive into the absolute wildest extremes of the fashion and beauty business.
And today is a big one.
It really is. Today, our deep dive is unpacking the wildly polarized state of modern luxury watchmaking. So we're going to explore that unprecedented hype of the Swatch and Audemars Piguet Royal Pop collaboration.
The plastic watch that caused the riots.
Exactly. And then we are going to contrast that street-level chaos with the highest ivory towers of horological art, based on all the business trends we just saw revealed at the recent Watches and Wonders Fair in Geneva.
It's just such a fascinating case study. I mean, right now, heritage brands are battling tooth and nail to maintain their relevance.
Yeah.
And their brand equity, in this digital smartwatch era we're living in.
Okay, let's unpack this, because the Royal Pop drop is just, it's wild. So for anyone who doesn't obsess over Swiss watches, Audemars Piguet, or AP as people call them, they are one of the holy trinity of high watchmaking.
Right.
We are talking about a brand that routinely sells steel watches for like $40,000 or $50,000.
Easily.
So for them to team up with Swatch, which is the ultimate mass market titan, it's a complete structural earthquake in luxury fashion.
Oh, absolutely.
So they released this Royal Pop thing. It's an octagonal, brightly colored pocket watch made of bioceramic, which is essentially just a proprietary plastic mix of ceramic.
Yeah, let's call it what it is. Plastic.
Right, plastic, attached to a calfskin lanyard. And it costs about $400 or I think 335 pounds.
And the craziest part is what's inside it. It houses Swatch's System 51 mechanical movement.
Okay, yes. That movement alone is the ultimate culture clash.
Totally.
Because you have Audemars Piguet, right? A brand whose entire mythology is built on skilled artisans sitting at wooden benches in the Vallée de Joux.
Hand polishing microscopic gears.
Hand polishing with gentian wood for literally hundreds of hours. And they are slapping their prestigious logo on the System 51.
Which is, well, for anyone who isn't a massive watch nerd, you should know the System 51 is famous because it's the first mechanical movement in the world made entirely by automated robots.
Zero human hands.
Zero. It has exactly 51 parts. They are completely soldered together by lasers.
By lasers.
Right. And the whole thing is held in place by one single central screw. It is the absolute antithesis of AP's handmade heritage.
So this is where I really struggle. Because this feels like Hermes collaborating with Zara to sell a canvas Birkin bag for $100.
That is great analogy, actually.
Right. I mean, I have to ask you, is this genius cultural marketing to Gen Z, or is it just brand suicide? Doesn't this completely cheapen a $20,000 luxury icon?
I get why you'd think that, but if we connect this to the bigger picture, you'll see it's actually an incredible business strategy.
Okay, explain that to me.
Well, AP isn't trying to sell the Royal Pop to the billionaire who already owns a solid gold Royal Oak.
Right, they already have that guy.
Exactly. They are executing a masterclass in cultural education. The CEO literally called it positive provocation.
Positive provocation.
Yeah. The goal is to introduce this digital native smartwatch-wearing younger generation to analog mechanical watchmaking.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, think about a Gen Z kid who grew up wearing an Apple Watch. They've never actually felt a mechanical spring wind up.
Right, they just charge it on a magnet.
Exactly. So AP is using Swatch's mass manufacturing to basically hand out a $400 mechanical syllabus to the next generation.
A syllabus. Okay, I hear that. But did that actually work? Yeah. Because looking at the secondary market, it was a totally different story.
Oh, the resale bubble was insane.
Insane. The frenzy was immediate. You had resellers flipping these watches on platforms like StockX and Noon the literal second they walked out of the store.
They were listing them while still standing in line.
Exactly. And the markups, I mean, the Whiteweight Blanc model was trading hands for over 2,000 euros in Europe. And the blue one, the Savonnet Lombok colorway, it hit 25,000 dirhams in the UAE. That is around $6,800
For a plastic watch.
for an automated laser-soldered plastic watch.
But here's where the strategy gets really interesting. Swatch intentionally popped this speculative bubble.
Oh, they did.
Yeah. Almost immediately after the launch, they released aggressive statements confirming that the Royal Pop is not a limited edition.
Right. They basically told everyone to calm down.
Exactly. They said, we are going to produce these and restock them in stores for months to come.
And what happened to the prices?
They plummeted. The moment the market realized the scarcity was artificial, the bottom just fell out. That $6,800 blue model, it dropped to around $1,400 almost overnight.
Which is still, $1,000 over retail.
Yeah.
But it's a massive crash for the guys who bought at the top.
Yeah.
It really makes you question the whole thing. Like, were the buyers true future watch collectors getting their first mechanical watch, or just hype-driven flippers looking for a quick profit?
The rapid price collapse strongly points to the latter, honestly. It's the danger of these hype models.
Totally. And that actually transitions us perfectly. Because if you want to see the literal opposite of this chaos, you just have to look at what was happening at the exact same time in Geneva.
Ah, yes. Watches and wonders.
Right. While people were getting tear-gassed in Paris, you have the hyper-exclusive, hushed, champagne-drenched halls of the Palexpo Center for Watches and Wonders 2026.
It's like two different planets.
It really is. If the Royal Pop represents mass hype, Geneva represents high art. We're talking about from plastic to platinum.
And specifically, the massive resurgence of métier d'art.
Yes. Let's talk about that.
So métier d'art translates to art professions. It's the concept where centuries-old techniques are miniaturized onto the scale of a watch dial.
The scale is what blows my mind. The specific details from the sources we reviewed are they're stunning. Let's look at enameling.
Oh, the Jaeger-LeCoultre piece?
Yes. Jaeger-LeCoultre introduced a reverso tribute that features a reproduction of Katsushika Hokusai's Reuben Waterfall.
That famous Japanese woodblock print.
Exactly. And artisans reproduce that entire color palette on a surface that is 2 square centimeters.
2 square centimeters?
I mean, look at your thumbnail. They are doing it on that. And they use 14 layers of Grand Faux enamel.
Which is incredibly risky. Grand Faux means great fire. They fire it at 800 degrees Celsius.
800 degrees.
Yeah, and they do it 14 times. Every time it goes in the oven, there's a risk it could crack or bubble.
And if it cracks on the 14th time,
It goes in the trash. Start over.
that is just heartbreaking. I read it takes 80 hours of painstaking work just to make one dial.
And that's just enameling. Look at wood marquetry.
Oh, the Hermes pocket watch.
Right, the Roar pocket watch. It's galaxies away from the Swatch pocket watch.
Literally a different universe.
Hermes used 10 different microscopic wood species, things like tulip wood and burl.
Wait, how do you even cut wood that small?
Under a microscope, they piece it together to recreate a silk scarf design of a lion. Chapar did something similar with burgundy rice straw. Yeah, they split the straw, flatten it, and create this luminous honeycomb dial. It's astonishing.
And we haven't even mentioned gem setting.
Which is a whole other level of crazy.
It is. Cartier brought out the Tortue Panthère. They use this technique called champlavé enamel.
Right, where they carve into the metal.
Yeah, and they add gold and silver flecks to create these dynamic raindrops around a panther. And then Bulgari, their Serpentia Eterna watch.
The 122 colored gemstones piece.
Exactly. It requires hundreds of hours just to set those stones.
But here's the thing that people always ask. With the massive profits available in hype collaborations and mass production, why do these heritage brands invest hundreds of hours into single, incredibly difficult artistic pieces?
Seriously. From a spreadsheet perspective, it makes zero sense.
Right. The margins have to be terrible compared to mass production. But they are what we call halo products.
Haley products.
Yeah, they aren't about volume. They're about preserving ancient human craftsmanship in a digital world. And more importantly, from a business side, protecting the ultimate sanctity and prestige of the brand's name. It proves they are still the absolute masters.
So when a guy walks in to buy a standard $5,000 steel watch, he's buying into the myth of the 80-hour enamel masterpiece.
Exactly. The art piece validates the entire brand.
Okay, that makes total sense. And that actually connects to the broader commercial trends we saw at the fair.
Yeah.
Because it's not just about what is on the dial. It's about the physical footprint of the watch itself.
The sizing is changing drastically.
It really is.
Yeah.
The era of the giant 43mm plus statement watch, it's officially ending.
Thank goodness.
Right. The new standard for men's watches is shrinking to a much more wearable 36 to 39mm.
Yeah, we saw the Bulgari Octo Finissimo come down to 37mm.
And the A-Lange and Sony Saxonia at 36mm.
It's the new normal.
It's a huge shift. And speaking of shifts, women's watches are finally getting serious.
Oh, absolutely. The industry is finally moving past the old shrink it and pink it philosophy.
Which was so insulting, just taking a men's watch, making it smaller, making it pink, and putting a cheap quartz battery in it.
Right. But now we are seeing this amazing blend of high jewelry and serious horological mechanics.
Like the Hermes Arceau minute repeater. A minute repeater for women.
That is massive. It's one of the most complicated mechanisms to build.
Yeah, it literally chimes the time.
Uh-huh.
And then Rolex introduced the Oyster Perpetual 28, featuring natural stone hour markers for the very first time.
So what does this all mean?
Well, this is where I have to push back a little.
Okay, let's hear it.
We are seeing a heavy reliance on vintage reissues, right?
Yeah.
Stone dials like Sodalite and Onyx, tons of archive mining.
Sure.
I mean, is this pivot to heritage and smaller, safer designs just a sign that the industry is scared?
Scared?
Yeah, like they're lagging original ideas during a sluggish luxury market, so they're just playing the hits from the 1950s.
That is a really valid critique, and I think it's a bit of both. It definitely acts as a reassuring safety net for brands in a tough economy. Consumers want something timeless if they're spending 20 grand.
Right, they don't want a weird fad.
Exactly. But to say there are no original ideas would be ignoring the massive mechanical innovation happening beneath the surface.
Oh, really? Like what? Because on the outside, they look very traditional.
Well, look at Tag Heuer. They debuted the new Monaco Evergraph.
Okay, the square one?
Yeah. But inside, it uses compliant, flexible mechanisms to completely replace traditional chronograph gears.
Wait, compliant mechanisms, like they bend.
Yes. Instead of tiny gears grinding against each other with friction, it's micro-machined silicon that literally flexes to transfer energy.
No way. That's inside a mechanical watch.
Inside a vintage-looking mechanical watch, it completely removes the need for lubrication. It's a monumental leap forward in microengineering.
Oh, wow.
So while the exterior is playing it safe, the internal engines are aggressively pushing into the future.
That is incredible. And honestly, it really summarizes the fascinating duality of the modern luxury watch industry that we've been deep diving into today.
It's an industry of extremes right now.
It really is. For you listening, just think about this spectrum. On one end, you have 80-hour hand-painted enamel masterpieces that exist just to preserve ancient human crafts.
Right.
And on the other end, you have $400 plastic collaborations causing riots and completely reshaping pop culture.
But I do want to leave you with a final, slightly provocative thought to mull over.
Oh, okay.
Since the Swatch and AP Royal Pocket Watch was designed specifically as a pocket watch, to protect AP's brand equity on the wrist.
The firewall.
Exactly. Well, the community is already figuring out how to modify it.
Wait, really?
Oh, yeah. They are building aftermarket adapters to attach wrist straps to the Royal Pop.
Oh, man. So the firewall is breached.
Completely breached. So my question is this. What happens to the untouchable allure of a $20,000 luxury icon when literally anyone can walk around with a $400 plastic clone on their wrist?
Does democratization ultimately destroy desire?
That is the $1 million, or I guess the $20,000 question.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Something for you to definitely explore on your own. But before we wrap up, I have a quick carve-out for you.
Love a good carve-out.
And this one is tailored right to what we were just talking about. Building on our discussion of high horology art, I highly recommend you check out Katsushika Hokusai's Tour of the Waterfalls of the Provinces.
The inspiration for the Jaeger LeCoultre watch.
Exactly. It's the actual series of 19th century Japanese woodblock prints. You can view them online or in various museum collections.
They are breathtaking.
They really are. And seeing the scale and the raw detail of the original artwork, it gives you such a profound appreciation for the absolute madness of trying to paint that onto a watch dial.
And it's a great way to appreciate world-class historic art without having to spend $500,000 on a luxury timepiece.
Absolutely. Well, that does it for our deep dive today. Thank you so much for joining us as we unpack the wild extremes of the fashion and luxury business.
It was a blast.
Keep an eye out for those plastic pocket watches, and we will catch you on the next deep dive.